Hello and welcome to my Q&A. This is the first Q&A I'm doing for YouTube. I've done a few for Reddit when my subreddit hit various milestones. And right now I'm about to hit another milestone there. I'm about to get 1,000 members to my subreddit. And recently I reached the 10,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. And so I decided to combine AMA's Q&A sessions for both of those milestones together. So this will be posted in both places. Now, before I get started, I want to thank you all for your support. I've been in the audio community since October of last year, started out on Reddit, and then started making content for YouTube in February. And in the time I've been in the audio community, I've been fortunate enough to enjoy the support and friendship of many just wonderful people. And I can't express enough to you how much I appreciate your support, your willingness to spend your time listening to me, the suggestions and requests that you send me, the feedback, both positive and constructive criticism. I really do appreciate you, and I know that your time is valuable. You could spend it with any other voice artist or with any number of activities, and you choose to spend some of it with me, and that means a lot to me. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I got quite a few questions, and I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. Now, there are some that are going to be a little bit too personal, and so I'm not going to answer those. I do try to keep my personal information personal and private. So questions, for example, about my physical appearance, about my age, my real name, that sort of thing, I'm going to decline to answer those. I will tell you, because I did have a few people ask about a face reveal. Don't count on one. I plan to not do any face reveals in the interest of my privacy and the privacy and safety of those close to me. Now that said, let's get started. A couple people asked, is there a reason behind the name Moonlight Audio, or was it just a random pick for my username? It was not a random pick. I generally am not great at selecting usernames. Now, I didn't want to have a username that was tied to my other accounts, my personal accounts, because I do want to keep my audio career separate from my personal life. So I can tell you, I'm not going to reveal my first or last name, but I can tell you they are not Moonlight Audio, just in case anyone was confused about that. So I powwowed with a couple friends, and we just started kind of throwing around ideas. And I wanted to give the impression of something romantic, something that would be memorable, that would also lend itself to a brand identity, something that I could, potentially have a logo and that sort of thing, and be identifiable. And at one point, I came up with the name Moonlight Audio, and I had about 3 friends that I was throwing names around with, and all 3 of them said, yes, that one. So that's how I wound up as Moonlight Audio. Someone asked what they should call me. Folks on my Discord server and on Reddit call me Moonie, and I am more than happy to have you call me that. Are some of your audios, this is from Nina25, are some of your audios based on real life experiences or pure imagination? Mostly they are pure imagination. Now, I used to do a lot of scripts. About 50% of my audios were scripted until April, I want to say. Right around the time the Caught Stealing My Favorite Hoodie audio came out. That's when I really transitioned to almost exclusively doing unscripted material. There are tidbits in some of my audios that are things that happen to me in real life. For example, in the Slow Dancing by Candlelight audio, I talked a little bit about running out of gas and sending my significant other off with a state trooper to get gas, and her coming back with 1 gallon and saying, well, that's the only size gas can they had. And I said, well, why didn't you buy 2 then? And that really did happen to me once upon a time. So there are a few things in there that are Easter eggs for different friends, and occasionally I'll throw a reference in or a name, or I'll choose a theme for an audio that's a shout out to one of my friends. But mostly it's pure imagination. Favorite memory from childhood, also from Nina25. When I was a kid, we used to go visit my grandparents every summer. And my grandparents lived down the street, really like literally a block away from an Arctic Circle fast food place. And we used to go with Grandpa and walk through the drive-thru of the Arctic Circle and get ice cream cones. One Direction Pride asked, "Why is your voice so freaking good?" A pretty well-known secret on my Discord server is that I actually don't have a lot of confidence in my voice. I thought until October of last year that I had an awful voice. Well, let me back up a little bit. Multiple people have asked what got me making audios in the first place. Last July and August, I went through just a really rough several weeks. It was just a really tough time for me. And I got a lot of comfort from listening to comfort audios on Pillow Talk Audio on Reddit. And they really helped me to find my footing again. And so I got thinking, I'd like to pay that forward to someone. I'd like to offer people the same goodness that was just offered to me. And I'd spent my entire life actually thinking I had an awful voice. Thought it was obnoxious. And so I planned to just write some scripts. I didn't plan to actually record anything. And in a moment of insanity, I went and made a verification audio that I put up on Pillow Talk Audio, and another one on Gone Wild Audio, which I since have left that subreddit because they don't allow safe for work material. And I put those verification audios up. I don't know why, but I was unprepared for the way they were received. They were very enthusiastically received. People saying, "Oh my goodness, please keep talking," and it shook me, because here was something that I just knew about myself, that was completely, totally, and utterly wrong. And when I told my sister about this, she said, "Are you insane? You have a beautiful voice." And I just totally shocked me. I was not expecting that kind of a response or that reception. So what I want to encourage everyone is to let go of the things that you absolutely know about yourself, especially the negative ones, and be prepared to listen to what others are telling you, because a lot of times we look at ourselves and we see a distorted reflection, like we're looking in a funhouse mirror, where everybody else standing in front of us sees the real us, and what they see a lot of times is much more beautiful than what we see. So love yourselves, be gentle with yourselves, and be prepared to let go of these things that you absolutely know are true about yourself, because a lot of them are false. Multiple people asked what my favorite food is. If you click on the description for any of my videos, it is powered by the same thing. They are powered by the same thing. It is sushi. Now, I also like a lot of different foods. I like Italian, I like Thai, I like Vietnamese food. I like Chinese food. I like other Japanese food apart from sushi, Mexican food, I mean, all sorts of things, German food. But sushi is a major staple of my diet. Several people ask what my favorite hobbies are. Well, first off is creating these audios. I also enjoy video games, enjoy listening to music. I have quite an extensive music collection, and enjoy listening to other voice artists and the creations that they offer us. And I am a martial artist. Cats, dogs, or both? Well, I am more of a dog person. My mother is a venomously anti-cat person, and did her best to instill that in my sister and I. And I don't hate cats with the same fierceness that my mother does, but they're not dear to me either. What is my favorite breed of dog? I grew up with Shetland sheepdogs, and Shelties are a really good, friendly, enthusiastic breed. The only problem with them really is two problems. My dog, Caboose, I call him the ever shedder. He just sheds, especially in the summer, but all the time. And then the other thing is they're very vocal. Did you see something? Are you not sure? Just bark. Just bark. Bark at everything. Bark at everything. Do you play any video games? Well, I do. If so, which? And that's from Honeybee. I have really enjoyed the Batman Arkham series of games. Recently did another playthrough of Arkham Knight, which is just a spectacular game. I am a fan of the Fallout series, and I've done quite a bit of modding on Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And I really like the Dragon Quest series of video games. Anybody who is familiar with the old Dragon Warrior games from way back when, those have been ported over to phones and have been given back their Japanese name, which is Dragon Quest. And I want to say I have all of them except for, is it 10? That was I think it was 10, was an MMORPG kind of setup, and that doesn't interest me. So I think I have all of them except for that one. Other video games, I really, really enjoyed The Last of Us. It is just a phenomenal game. Just really a landmark game in terms of production and achievement. It's wonderful. My favorite video game and or movie? Well, The Last of Us is probably my if I had to pick one game, it's probably The Last of Us. Movie, it's really hard to say. I really enjoyed the Batman movies with Christian Bale. I think he did a really good job. I'm interested to see what Robert Pattinson does. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think he'll do a good job. I really do. I also really like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I enjoyed the Ocean's 11 movies. They only made 2. They made Ocean's 11 and they made Ocean's 13. Don't try telling me there's an Ocean's 12, because there's not. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. There's Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 13. That's it. Oh, by the way, this question was from Triceratops. Favorite character from said movie or game? Batman all day long. Batman. Multiple people ask which of my audios is my favorite or have been the most enjoyable for me to record, and why. Which am I most proud of? Probably my favorite that I've recorded. It's really hard to say, but Put Your Head in My Lap has special meaning to me. I had a really bad night back in October, and a wonderful friend from Reddit actually stayed up all night long chatting with me and just helping me out. And I sat down and I wrote that script, Put Your Head in My Lap, to just say all the things that I needed to hear at that time. And it has been wildly popular. If you count my fill of it, I just got a message on Reddit earlier from someone who, if they fill it, it will be the 30th fill of that script. It's just been far more popular than I thought it would be. And it's got special meaning to me because of that, because it's something that I needed to hear, and apparently it's something that has really resonated with a lot of people. And for any of you who are listening who do voice recording, male or female, feel free to take that script, record it. Please just give me credit in your description or your post, wherever you do, and let me know about it, because I have on my posts on Reddit where I posted the script, I put the name and link to every single person who has filled it. And so please do let me know if you fill it, because I want to add you to my list. And then, which are you most proud of? I gotta say, I'm really proud of the Dragon audio. And the reason why is there are 48 different tracks in that audio. There are 48 different tracks. 38 of them are overlapping each other during that 6 to 8 seconds when the dragon lands. All of those things you hear, every man shouting, every sword being drawn, every screaming horse, the screaming woman, the horses stomping, every one of those things is a different sound effect. Every one of them. And in fact, I had, I want to say, 6 sounds of boots on dirt, and then I tweaked them, changed pitches, that sort of thing, changed tempos, so that I had 2 versions of each. So I had 12. So, I mean, I'm very, very pleased with myself for the achievement there. If anybody wants to see what that looked like, if you go to my Discord server, there is a channel called Audio Creation, and the link for my Discord server, it's in the description for every one of my videos, and it's also I have it pinned up at the top of my page of my profile on Twitter, and I've got it pinned at the top of my Reddit profile, and I've got it in the little comment blurb that I put with tags, the pinned comment that I put for every one of my videos. So different places to get that link, but on the Audio Creation channel, a lot of times I'll cast the curtain back and let people see a little bit about how I create these audios. And I took some screenshots of the screens from Audacity where I had all these tracks, and I'm just very, very proud having been able to accomplish that. All right. Baby Girl ASMR asked, do you have a favorite audio that you have made or that you have seen someone else do? Well, as far as favorite that I've made, just answered that. Favorites that someone else has done, there are 2 that stand out in my mind. Honey Audio made an absolutely gorgeous audio called Dance With Me that is, it's just stunning. It's beautiful, and it is, if I had to pick one recording that's my very favorite, it would be that one. It would be tied. It would be tied for first. I have a dear friend who, when I was very, very stressed in November, reached out, and she made me a 17-minute long audio, a massage relaxation audio, and it's become a security blanket to me, and I fall asleep with that audio in my ears almost every night. And so those 2, Honey's audio, Dance With Me, and my friend's massage audio that she made for me, are my 2 favorite audios. Triceratops asked, what's your D&D alignment? And what kind of D&D class would fit your personality the most, or what class is your favorite? Well, I've never really played D&D, but I did some quizzes online, to figure out what I would be. Lawful good and sorcerer, apparently. LNH Feb 18 says, is it weird to record ASMR? It must be where there is no one and you just need to pretend. It's not really that weird for me. When I'm recording, I get into the character and really just immerse myself using my imagination, so that I am envisioning myself with a partner when I'm talking to the partner. And now, that said, there are times I sit back and I'm like, what am I doing with my spare time? I'm making these recordings that are like me having half a conversation into a microphone. And isn't that weird? And so sometimes I get a little bit self-conscious about it, but then I'm like, yeah, but there's people that enjoy it. And so I'm just going to pretend I'm not self-conscious about it. Sapphire Parsival asked also, does it ever feel awkward when you record the audios? It can be a little bit sometimes. Not usually when I'm recording, although afterwards, I don't like listening to myself when I edit. I just, what all of you enjoy, I cringe at, because I'm like, but that's me, and it just, and so it's more awkward when I'm doing my editing. Multiple people asked if I like to travel and what's my favorite place that I've been. I do like to travel. I have been all over the United States. I have been to, I want to say 32 of the states. And I've been to every populated continent except for Australia. And Aussies, I will get to you. I will. Favorite places I've been. I had a marvelous trip to Budapest in 2016 and a wonderful trip to London in 2017. And those, I would say, are my two favorite cities that I visited as a tourist. But I really, really, really like tropical areas and the Caribbean. I've been to Grand Cayman, and as a tourist, as a vacationer, it can't be beat. Cinnamon Roll TM asks, besides making audios on here, have you ever considered pursuing anything outside YouTube with voice acting involved? I really haven't thought that far ahead. Really haven't considered that. Someone else asked later on, let me see if I can find it. Where I eventually see my audio career going. And then Cinnamon Roll also asked, do you see yourself doing this long-term or short-term? I intend to do it long-term. I intend to do it as long as people are interested in listening and I'm able to come up with content that people enjoy. As far as it being taking up more of my time, becoming my full-time job, I don't see it doing that. I very much enjoy the work that I do, and I would not want to leave it behind. But yeah, I mean, kind of at this point, I'm just interested to see where it goes and play things by ear. What kind of content do you enjoy watching in your free time? Well, if you look at my YouTube recommendations, there are ASMR, there are humor. Since I'm a total geek, I sometimes will watch StarCraft 2 competitions because those people are nuts and amazing. So that's pretty fun. And then a lot of times I watch either bands' official videos for different songs or people doing covers of various instruments. So that's part of how I also geek out. Thoughts on cinnamon rolls from Cinnamon Roll. I am violently opposed to cinnamon rolls, and I'm doing my best to decrease the number on Earth by consuming them as soon as I find them. That's my thought. So if you have any cinnamon rolls, send them to me. I will make sure they're taken care of. Have any of the artists who draw your portraits ever seen you or your photos? What I in the past have done is find models that either have poses or expressions that I like and that I want my avatar to look like, and I send those. What are the first 3 things you notice about someone? From XX, your average loser XX, and then Francesca Collins asked, what are the first 3 things you notice about a girl? I'd say for female or male, the first things I notice, when someone comes up to you before they even open your mouth, you can see their appearance. Are they, what do they look like? And I'm not putting any judgment there, just, what do you look like? I notice voices, and I notice people's attitudes. Do I have any soup recommendations? Yes. Hungarian goulash is not to be missed, and it's very easy to make. So look it up, make it, love it. What's your favorite season? Multiple people ask me this one. I really enjoy the heat, and I love summer. I really love summer. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings / Hobbit? Well, I have read all of the above. I've seen the movies for all of the above. And I must say I am more of a Tolkien fan than a Rowling fan. I love the depth of the world that Tolkien created. Do you prefer to read the Harry Potter books or to watch the movies? Honestly, I enjoyed reading the books, but at this point, if I'm going to revisit Harry Potter, I would do it with the movies, because there are so many things that I want to do with my time and so many books I want to read that I can watch the movie in a few hours and then read a different book. So this is purely hypothetical. I haven't watched any of the movies or read the books for a few years now. Brittany Fannin asked, would you ever consider doing a comfort or boyfriend audio that had your real heartbeat in it? Sure. Winter asked, what's your love language? Mine boils down to physical touch and gift giving are the 2 things that I do most. What's your favorite musical? From Hotel Trivago. Well, I really enjoyed Newsies. I really enjoyed Hamilton. And Disney has some amazing stage productions of some of their animated shows, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, that are phenomenal, that I really love. Which mythical being do you like the best? If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Hercules, just because he's a badass and the Disney movie is hilarious. That was also from Hotel Trivago. Do you play any instruments? I do. I am pretty good on the piano. Yasmin Mo asks, what is your TV show at the moment? I'm a big fan of Arrested Development. I also like Burn Notice, and more recently I've been watching some episodes of Burn Notice. I have the entire series, 7 seasons, on DVD, and which I had to do when they took them off Netflix. So now it doesn't matter if they're on Netflix. It just sucks I can't watch them on my phone. Multiple people ask what my favorite color is. Blue. Favorite number? From Seeker of Powerful Ideas. My favorite number is 13. What is your favorite TV or movie series? Well, I've kind of answered all this already, but Arrested Development, Burn Notice, love those. Lord of the Rings trilogy for movies, love them. Iroko-chan asked, can you share how you discovered that you could make these audios? I kind of touched on it already, where I recorded my verification audio for Reddit and received a very enthusiastic response I was not anticipating. A couple people asked, how did you know you were good at this? And Honeybee asked, do you know you're good at ASMR? I am told that I'm good at it. That is something that I am still learning to accept. Do the responses from your listeners encourage you to continue to make these audios? Asks Sapphire Parsifal. They absolutely do. And I do welcome comments that give suggestions for how I can improve things. I really do. I just ask that you be polite, is all. And the vast majority of you are. If any of the audios have made a significant change in you, which? And that's also from Yoroko-chan. I don't know that any of them have made a major change in me. I think that there's been a cumulative effect of seeing myself. I never considered myself a creative person, and I'm still trying to accept that I might be. But there is a net effect of doing these that has helped me to have more confidence in my abilities, and so I would say that it's the change is in steps rather than a big leap. Multiple people ask me if I watch anime. I have never watched anime. Just never been something I did. Do you love ASMR eating videos and mukbang? And is there a chance of you doing a mukbang video? I didn't even know what that was until y'all asked me that question. I had to look it up. So I can say I don't love them because I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't hate them. I didn't even know it was a thing. Probably not a chance of me doing it. Never say never, but if I did one, no, I would not do a face reveal. But at this point, that's not something that's on my radar. What is your favorite drink? Multiple people ask me this. I like spiced cider, hot chocolate, and different kinds of herbal tea. And Ribena. What's your favorite book, and are you reading anything now? And if so, what is it? I don't know that I have a single favorite book. I've read a lot of books that I really loved. Most recently, I've been reading the Cadfael series by Ellis Peters. Cadfael he's a fictional 12th century monk, I think, during the civil war between King Stephen and Empress Maud, which was a real civil war in England back then. And Cadfael is a monk who solved mysteries, most of them murders. And the PBS Mystery Series made it into a series of movies back in the 90s. And I have those all on DVD, and then the books are wonderful. They're quick reads. They're about 200 pages each, so you can breeze right through them. And then there's a book called Rat King that a friend sent me that I am just about to start reading as soon as I finish the Cadfael that I'm currently on. Are there any audio ideas you're excited to do in particular? Asks Geeky Bookworm. Well, I've had some good responses for my Friends to Lovers stuff, and I have a few more ideas for Friends to Lovers things that I want to record soon. And then throwing back the curtain just a little bit, I have an idea for a dorky ghost that I'm really excited to record and see how what y'all think of that. And then someone has requested a stargazing, like in the back of a pickup truck, friends to lovers kind of thing. And I'm actually very excited about that. I actually, several years ago, went on a date where that was what we did. We laid out in the back of a pickup truck in the mountains and stargazed, and it was a great time. And so I'm really excited to record that, even though things didn't work out with that girl. Would you ever want to collab with someone, and if so, who? Well, I have done a few collabs. I did the Under the Weather together with Panthera Audio. We recorded that back in October, November, and she had it posted on her page on her channel for a while, and then, as you all know, I posted it this past week. What that is a remastered version with ambiance and sound effects and all that. And I've also done. I have a friend, Mute Zero, who's just very, very talented, who's written some scripts that he invited me to record. One of them was the Casablanca Affair, which there should be a link here in my community page, and that was a collab just between me and Panthera Audio. And then Meme, which was I don't even know how many voices, is at least a dozen voices, and he cast me as one of the main villains. So yes, I would do collabs, and I'm open to more collaborative efforts. Okay, are you planning on doing holiday-themed audios since fall is coming up, especially spooky or horror-themed ones? Asks Candace Lopez. Probably. I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. As you recall, I did one for Valentine's Day. Probably do some stuff for Halloween. With me, I'm probably going to go for like I said, I'm going to do a dorky ghost. I'm not waiting until October to post that, but I'm going to go probably more for the, the dorky zombie that can't scare you kind of thing, rather than the terrifying one that terrifies you. All right. Next up, Candace Lopez asked, who are you going to call? Probably Ghostbusters. Possibly just Bill Murray, though. Thoughts on imposter syndrome and what's my personal approach to overcoming it as a creator, asks Anastasia Collins. Really just positive reinforcement, positive self-reinforcement, doing my best to listen to what others are telling me rather than what I'm telling myself. Rather than thinking, oh, I'm no good at this, saying, hey, all these people really like what you're doing, so you're good at it. It's okay to believe them. It's okay to accept their word on it. What's the color of your toothbrush? I have an electric toothbrush that is blue and white. That was from Molly Brown. If you could be famous for anything, what would you choose to be famous for? Asks Megan Elizabeth. For making really good ASMR. That's what it would be. Megan Elizabeth also asked, what is the last movie or TV series you watched? Last series of movies I watched, we watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy on my Discord server a few weeks back. And as far as TV series, like I said, been working through Burn Notice again. Favorite fast food place? Chick-fil-A, all day long. Hey Jesse asks, what's your favorite song? I've kind of got two. The song Get You In by Better Than Ezra, and the song Shingetsu by the Japanese rock band Spitz, S-P-I-T-Z, and I cannot plug them enough. They have 16 albums, 16 studio albums. I have 11 of those, 5 of which I was able to buy on Amazon Music, and the other 6 that I had to get on Amazon as imports from Japan. And I also have another one on its way. and they are just a phenomenal band. So do yourselves a favor and check them out. You can check out 5 of their albums on Spotify or Amazon Music. And their album Togemaru, Shingetsu, is track 5 or 6, I want to say. Great song. Do you take it as a compliment or find it weird when someone says your voice is perfect? Asks Hey Jesse. Kind of both. Like, I'm very flattered. What's wrong with you? In all seriousness, I am flattered by it. I really am. It's not what I hear when I open my mouth, but I'm very flattered that it's what a lot of you hear. How are you really doing? How's your day going? Well, where I am right now, it's about 11:15 p.m., so my day does not have much time left. I'm doing well, enjoying the summer as best I can, with the current, circumstances being what they are. I'm a bit of a homebody to begin with, so my life didn't actually change all that much with lockdown because I wasn't going anywhere in the first place. And I know it's been a lot harder on a lot of people, and I really hope that I'm able to at least take some of the sting out of that by providing you some comfort and entertainment. Do you prefer small roller coasters with no loops, or do you like big roller coasters with big loop-de-loops? Asks Hey Jesse. Big coasters with big loops. I went a few years back, 8 or 9 years ago, maybe more. Went to Cedar Point out in Sandusky, Ohio. And if you're ever out there, do yourselves a favor and go. They've got amazing roller coasters. What's your opinion on British accents, and can you tell when a person has a British accent? My opinion on them is they're very, very diverse. There are some that I enjoy more than others. I find it just fascinating that a country that size can have such diversity of accent. Is just stunning to me. And yeah, I can tell when a person has a British accent. A couple of my very, very close friends are Londoners from different parts of the city, and they have very different accents. So it's a lot of fun. And actually, with one of those friends, we did a quiz where, how do you pronounce X, Y, or Z, and then it says what part of the UK does your accent most resemble. And hers said West London, and well, she's from West London, and so it was right on there. Apparently, I'm an East Midlands boy. Apparently. But if you do the US version, it said that I have an accent generally described as from the West, which I was raised in the Western United States. So there you go. What would you do if someone recognized your voice? I would probably deny it like hell. And how would you react if someone recognized you in public? Asked Honeycake Horse. Same. Who? Moonlight? What? Huh? Book recommendations, please. Is there a title you want everyone to read at least once? Please pronounce me if I butcher this, Nuyeri Kabir. Well, I did plug the Cadfile series of books. They're wonderful. I think that everyone in the Anglo world should read The Hobbit, at the very least, if not the full Lord of the Rings. Life Be Like That asked, do you like cheese? Hell yes. And Nuyeri Kabir asked, what is your favorite cheese? My favorite is any of the varieties of cheddar that come from the Tillamook Creamery in Tillamook, Oregon. Do you like chicken nuggets or pizza rolls? Yes. Yes, I do. Any shows as a kid that you'd still find yourself watching till this day? Asked Red Apple. Not really. I mean, I did a trip down memory lane with a couple of them, a few years ago, but it was more just nostalgia than anything else. How did it feel when you recorded your first ASMR? A little bit intimidating, a little bit weird, a little bit scary. The first one I did was I Am the Luckiest. And that one was pretty scripted. It felt really odd. And I recorded that on my phone because I didn't even have a microphone at that point. And I had no idea what I was doing with Audacity, to edit it or anything. I'll have to remaster that one at some point and see what I can do with it now. Do you sometimes feel uncomfortable while recording, and how was it, especially at the beginning? I kind of answered all that stuff earlier. It was kind of awkward at the beginning, just trying to find a way to get in my groove. And sometimes I still experience that. Sometimes I sit down at the mic and I'm just like, there's nothing there right now. I find that if I take the time to prepare and make an outline for what I'm going to record, even just a framework for kind of how I want to have it progress, that helps me out a lot. That said, I think somebody asked so when I said I was going to do the 10K Q&A, a bunch of people put questions on there. I need to go back over those. But someone asked if I write my own scripts. The vast majority of the stuff you guys are listening to is not scripted. If I did fill a script, the ones I did fill scripts for, I have credited the author of that script in the description. So if you don't see one there, it was improv by yours truly. Bananas on pizza, yes or no? I have had bananas on pizza, and depending on what kind of pizza, yes. Absolutely yes. What is your favorite song, book, artist at the moment? Talk about songs, books, artist. Well, I've been listening to a lot of Spitz lately. I really like Jimmy Eat World. I really like Pearl Jam. I really like Metallica. So, there you go. Some of these things have staying power. Have you ever eaten German food? And if yes, how'd you like it? I have eaten it, and I liked it. And I don't remember too much about it because it's been a while, and it was only once or twice. But I do remember liking it. And I'm going to Disney World next year, and I think what I may have to do is go to the German Pavilion and get dinner there. Before making your channel or even starting to record audios, did you ever have friends or people you know tell you have an ASMR voice, or a voice that would be good for ASMR? From Coco Calypso. No one ever said that to me. And like I said, I thought my voice was atrocious until I recorded those verification audios, and people liked them. Maya Adams asked, can you draw? And Sarah Whimsical asked, do you enjoy drawing and illustrating? I am not an artist. I cannot draw to save my life. I can do stick figures. I'm like Hangman, the kind of detail that's there, that's as good as I can get. It's not what I've been gifted with. Trash Rat asks, what is your favorite kind of ice cream? Rocky Road and salted caramel. And I actually got ice cream tonight, and I had salted caramel, and unfortunately didn't have Rocky Road. So I got cookies and cream instead. Do you know who Bakugo is? I do now that I Googled it. What is your favorite animal? Many people ask that. What is your favorite animal? It's my 4-year-old niece. Yeah. Yep, she's my favorite animal. If you had to live in any fantasy world, what would it be? Asks Mary Zerthing. First off, I'm going to correct your question. If you got to live in any fantasy world, not had to, thank you very much. And it would be Middle Earth because they already defeated evil. I mean, duh, they've got it made. Are you ticklish? Those things in audios where I'm like, if you tickle me, you're legit catching an elbow to the face. I'm not lying. I'm like ticklish from the forehead down, basically. Would you rather eat a baby goat or a matter baby? I know that joke. What's a matter baby? Yes, I know. I'd rather eat lamb. Do you watch any other channels who also do boyfriend role plays for inspiration? If so, who? I do not. I have never listened to another boyfriend role play. I've never listened to a boyfriend role play by anyone else. I've listened to I've listened to male fills of my Put Your Head in My Lap script, and that's the extent of my male voice experience as a listener. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? Multiple people ask that. I really want to go to Japan, and I would love to go back to London. Had a marvelous time there, and I was only there for 4 days, and I want there to be more. I was supposed to go to northeastern India a few years ago, but was unable to do so, and so that remains on my bucket list. I've been, ever since I was a little boy, I've just been fascinated with the Himalayas. How are you feeling today? From Amy. Feeling pretty good. Can't complain. Hope you are too. What is your favorite tea and how do you take it? You know, I'm really not a tea drinker apart from herbal teas. A friend of mine sent me some various peppermint teas. I really like the buttermint tea that she sent. And there's a peppermint licorice one that is, I mean, I like all of them, but those are probably my favorites that I've tried. Is there a specific language that you've always wanted to learn and why? Well, I've taken a number of years of Spanish when I was in high school, and I would like to improve my Spanish skills. I just think it's a very useful language to know. Favorite ASM artist? I have two that I would say are the ones that I listen to all the time that are my absolute favorites. Those are Honey Audio and Panthera Audio. Would you ever consider doing commissions? Asks Mayday. Possibly. You know, I've thought about it in the past. I've also thought about starting a Patreon. Right now, it's just not the right time. I have a lot of other obligations in my personal life, and I just don't know that I am ready to take on an extra commitment. What's one funny or random fact you can share about yourself? Multiple people ask this. Since 2003, I have lived in all 4 of the time zones in the continental United States. All 4 of them. What's something about you that surprises people? Asked Alex Evan James. Well, I mentioned earlier that I am a martial artist. I actually am a black belt in my martial art. And I dated a girl once who we'd been dating for a while, and then she found that out, and she's like, how did I not know this? I'm like, you never asked. She's like, well, it didn't occur to me that I should ask that. And I was like, well, it was never relevant. So, what are your comfort foods? And if you had to eat just one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Asked Danny Marie. Well, I talked about sushi already. Cheese, ice cream, and Thai food. I really, really like Thai food. If I had to eat one kind of food for the rest of my life, probably go with sushi, honestly. Most played song on your playlist. Like if all your devices could only play one song, which one would it be? Right now, honestly, it's probably Master of Puppets by Metallica. And then the Trivium cover of that song, which is awesome. What is the perfect go-to snack? I really like the packets of the seaweed packets that you can get from Costco. What is your least favorite flavor of drink? Well, Tinkerbell asked that. A number of years ago when I was in South America visiting, I tried tamarind juice, and no thanks. Also, Aussies, you can have the Vegemite. I know it's not a drink, but just you can have it. How do you get into character before you start an audio? Asked Tinkerbell. I don't really have anything specific that I do. I can tell you that a lot of times I have a couple stops and starts right at the beginning until I feel like I'm in character. Other times it will just roll. If you had unlimited resources, what creative project would you make a reality? Pinecat Audio asked that. Honestly, if I had unlimited resources, what creative project? Well, they're being pretty creative looking for a vaccine for COVID right now. And if I had unlimited resources, I would do what I could to expedite that. However, I don't think that's exactly what you were asking. I would get myself a dedicated, acoustically engineered, lovely recording space. What is one of the most fascinating things about the animals or the human? Asked Emmy Maya. Just the adaptability of life, I think. Just looking at the places where people have managed to live and the places where animals have managed to survive, and the adaptability of people and animals and all forms of life to not only live in the places that are lush and that support a lot of different kinds of life, but also the niche places, the desert, the tundra, places like that you wouldn't necessarily expect life to flourish. What is your favorite type of ASMRs to make? Lilac the Lily asked that. I like making friends to lovers stuff. I like making comfort stuff. I like making snuggles. What's your most embarrassing childhood memory? Okay. When I was a teenager, I was in the Boy Scouts, and there was a local parade, and they would have the Boy Scouts carry the banners in front of every marching band and float and all that. And one year I was in it, and my mother, as I passed, ran out in the street screaming, "That's my boy, that's my boy, that's him," right? It was in front of everybody. I was so embarrassed because I was like 13. And or 14. And that's, didn't matter. I would never see those people again. I was embarrassed. So there you go. Would you ever consider making other types of content than M4F, like reading books or stories, or even M4M for your LGBT viewers? Well, I do make M4A. Usually when I make an audio, I try to avoid, most of the time I try to avoid using gender-specific pronouns. And when I'm editing, I listen, and as long as there are no female pronouns, I make it M4A. I have contemplated reading books or stories. If there are books or stories that y'all want me to do, I'll tell you what, I'll put a question up on my community page sometime in the next few days, and if people are interested, we can get suggestions. As far as M4M goes, I don't have any plans to make dedicated M4M content. It's just not part of it's not part of myself, and so I'm more than happy to make M4A, but I don't plan to make M4M. Where do you see your voice acting career going in the future? I answered that one already. What is your favorite pet name or term of endearment to call someone or be called? I like to say sweetness, and I like to say darling. And I think those are my favorites to call people. What did you have for breakfast by Kill or Be Killed Queen 05? Well, I did not eat breakfast today as part of a planned dietary plan. So there you go. Shiverlinks asked, can you do a car crash audio? Give me some more details, kind of specifics, what you're actually looking for. You can use, at the bottom of the description for any of my videos is a link to a Google form, and you can put in suggestions or requests. Go ahead and fill that out and flesh it out a little bit. Tell me more about what you're looking for. What's it like being on YouTube and being a YouTuber? You know, it's surreal to think that there are people all over the world listening to me. It's very weird to me. Doesn't seem entirely real. And yet, here you are. And only half of those accounts that are subbed to me are my own accounts. So, what are some things you would recommend to people who want to start a channel? Be patient, make the best use of your resources. When my channel started to actually gain some traction was when I started actually giving my videos titles and thumbnails that were going to attract more attention. And then my channel started to grow. So, and then don't be afraid to cross-platform advertise yourself, like Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. Several people ask what kind of music I listen to. I have very broad musical tastes, but when left to my own devices, I tend to go into rock, kind of like middle of the road rock to hard rock. How would you describe your personality in 3 words? Playful, compassionate, and particular. As in, I generally know how I like things, and I like them a certain way. Trying to become more flexible. Favorite dessert? Jimena Toledo asked that. When I was in South America, I tried a passion fruit mousse that was amazingly good. It was amazing. What is your greatest strength and weakness? Well, I am very good with logic and if-then type of scenarios. As far as weakness, kind of talked about self-confidence a little bit. So there's that. Dee Dee asked, who is your favorite actor or actress? I'd have to say Denzel Washington. The man just brings class to like everything he touches. And just, you know, I think he's a remarkable actor. I think he's a remarkable human being. If you could be a superhero for a year, what character would you choose? Batman. What makes you smile? Stephanie Bell asked that. A lot of stuff. Family and friends do. My hobbies do. Encouragement that I get from my listeners puts a smile on my face. There are a lot of things that make me smile. Favorite game as a kid? When I was in high school, we used to, before school, me and my buddies used to play Hearts a lot, and so that was always fun. Have you watched The Vampire Diaries, and if so, who's your favorite character? I've never watched Vampire Diaries. What was your first job? Pepper Verse asked that. My first paying job was at McDonald's. Do you like Harry Potter? If so, what house are you in? The next several questions are from Infinity_1012. I do like Harry Potter. The Sorting Hat did not tell me what house I'm in, unfortunately. Have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? I have not. Do you like movies or books better? I like them both. Depends what I'm in the mood for. How do you feel about spiders? You had to go there, didn't you? Okay, no joke, people. I have 2 phobias in real life. Heights and spiders. And I know it's an unreasonable fear, and I know what the treatment is. You know, immersion therapy, and my answer to that is no thanks. I'm perfectly happy to live with my deluded phobia for the rest of my life. Why are you so cute? From the Glass Rose. It just seemed like the right thing to do. What's your favorite Disney film or story? Jinx asked to ask that. Favorite Disney film or story is Beauty and the Beast. I think they knocked it out of the park with Moana too. They really did a fantastic job with that. Maya Adams asked, would you rather spend the night in a mansion full of snakes or spend 1 hour in a room with a few tarantulas? I'm going to say it doesn't matter as long as they're all dead first. If they're not dead, then I would say an hour in a room with a few tarantulas, because you didn't say that I couldn't have riot gear and you didn't say that I couldn't stomp them. So, sorry spider lovers, but that's kind of what would happen. And I get out of there within an hour. So that's why I would do that. Favorite book series, already went into that. Funniest or weirdest story or moment you can think of. Okay, a few years ago, I went with my parents, my sister, and her husband to Disney World. And we were at Animal Kingdom, and it was towards the end of the day, and we were on the Kali River Rapids. And if any of you have been there, you know that these are big round rafts, circular rafts. And there's a circular platform that rotates that you walk out onto and then get into the raft, and then at the end you unload onto that platform and walk off. It was the end of the day, and it was not a very busy day at the park. And so we went through the Kali River Rapids, and when we came back to the end, we just started spinning our finger up in the air, you know, in a circle, like, again. They sent us through like 6 times in a row without making us get off. And my family, you know, from the movie Toy Story with the aliens, you've been chosen. We try to predict who's going to be chosen for the big, huge wave that comes up over the top when you go down the slide there. And but by 6 times through that ride, we'd all been chosen. There was not a single dry inch on any of us. It was a lot of fun. Have you ever sleepwalked? Asked Chicken Nuggets Make Me Happy. Not to my knowledge. I have been told by my parents, however, that when I was a toddler, at one point they heard squeak, squeak, squeak out in the hallway, and I was riding my tricycle up and down the hallway in my sleep. 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy doing ASMR? Sarah Rivera asked that. That's a really tricky question, and I'm going to decline to put a number on it. It's both wonderful and terrible. Wonderful because I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy knowing that I'm providing entertainment and comfort and happiness for others. Terrible because it is playing to one of my weaknesses, which is my self-confidence. And inside I know that it's good for me to continue pushing on that. Because the only way I'm going to grow as a person is if I find where the edges of my comfort zone are and I push them outward. So, yeah. Have you ever tried Mexican food? Dude, everyone's tried Mexican food. I love Mexican food. In fact, for my birthday last year, had dinner at a Mexican restaurant. Could you do more Safe With Me videos, and could you do more comfort videos about girlfriends? Both of those were from Kendra Queen. Safe With Me was a script by my friend Ms. Donovan, and I do plan to do more panic attack stuff. There's a lot of stuff on my recording idea list. Honestly, I probably have more ideas on it now than I would get to in 3 years posting twice a week. So I do plan to do more in the future. It just may be a little while because there are so many other things that I want to explore as well. As far as comfort videos about girlfriends, that's like half my channel. There's going to be more of those. More of them pretty soon. What do you look for in a girl? Also, what do you think about long distance relationships? I look for someone who is kind, considerate, and willing to accept my imperfection while still urging me to become better. As far as long distance relationships, I have no strong feelings one way or the other. If you could be friends with a mythical creature, vampire, werewolf, kitsune, etc., what would you choose? Vampire. Vampire, because, I mean, that's just awesome. Plus, I could get turned into one. If you were on death row, what would be your last meal? Marie Henstridge asked that. Steak and potatoes, corn on the cob. What problem or situation did TV or movies make you think was common, but when you grew up you found out it wasn't? Well, I don't know that there was anything I really thought was common, although it does seem that Disney tried to convince us that every family has a dead parent. Like, every Disney movie, up until Frozen, where they, like, had 2 dead parents, you know? But it was just like, I mean, and it's actually kind of a joke, not just for me, but, you know, in general, that Disney movies have a missing parent. So. All right. Moving on here. What is your most useless talent? I'm really good at remembering useless trivia. What is one ridiculous thing somebody has made you believe or trick you into doing? Well, somebody has made me believe that daddy long legs were the most poisonous spider. And in fact, they are not. Someone also convinced me that the only reason they didn't kill us all is because their fangs couldn't get through our skin. And I want to say it was Mythbusters that tested that and found that they can bite you enough to use their poison, and the guy just kind of had a mild burning sensation at the site. Do you enjoy making audios? Very much. What color is nothing? I would say it's the complete absence of color. Like, not black, but it's a void. What is your funniest joke? Asked Kneecaps. I can't tell you because it'll get me demonetized. Honestly, most of my jokes are dumb. But I laugh at them, which is why I tell them. Baby Yoda is Bay, you must agree. If you say so. I've not watched The Mandalorian. How's life treating you so far? Pretty damn good. Life is beautiful. It's got its ups and its downs. It's got its high times and its low times. All things considered, life is good. If you didn't do ASMR, what do you think you'd be doing right now? Right this very second, I would probably be, well, it's 10 minutes to midnight. I'd probably be in bed reading and going to sleep. Otherwise, with my free time, probably doing more reading and video gaming. I've kind of sacrificed time that I would have used on those things to do audio. What is something small that makes you happy? Seeker of powerful ideas asked that. I'm going to go with my 4-year-old niece. What's your favorite cheesy pickup line, and have you ever used it in real life? Butcher Bark asked that. There are so many great cheesy pickup lines. I've never used one in real life. But one of my favorites is, are you a parking ticket? 'Cause you got fine written all over you. Love it. Weirdest scar you got, and how did you get it? Butcher Bark asked me that. I have a scar in my right eyebrow, kind of towards the middle, closer to the bridge of my nose. And I apparently managed to get my hands on a pizza cutter when I was a toddler and cut myself right above my eye. I have a scar in my eyebrow. What's your favorite physical attribute about yourself? I think I have nice eyes. And someone asked what color they are, and they are green. What's the single best piece of advice you've ever received? It is to envision my ideal, perfect significant other, and then make myself the kind of man that that person would want to be with. That, I think, is the best advice that I've ever received. Be the kind of person that your ideal significant other would want to be with. Bill and Ted also had a good one. Be excellent to each other. And I know it's, a little bit facetious to, quote Bill and Ted, but they've got a point. There's really, I believe strongly in the dignity of all human beings. I believe very strongly that we all have infinite intrinsic worth, and that nothing we do can raise or lower our worth at all. I think that we make choices that are bad. I think we make choices that are harmful to ourselves and others. I think we also make choices that are good and that are beneficial. But none of those things change the fact that we have infinite value and worth. And I believe that of all men and women. And I believe strongly in equality of all men and women. And any cause or movement that promotes peace and harmony has my support. If you had 24 hours to do whatever you wanted in your town or city, what would you do? No repercussions. Well, honestly, the only thing I think I would do, I want to see if my car really can hit the number at the top of the speedometer. And there's a great straightaway, like right outside my neighborhood, for like 2 miles. And I would love to do that. When are you the happiest? And when do you feel the most peaceful? And those are from different people. Most peaceful? Probably the most peaceful I've been is when I've got time, not necessarily just on vacation, but maybe just an evening where I'm able to let go of everything, let go of all my responsibilities, let go of all of my to-do list, and just sit and relax and not worry about anything. Yeah, I may still have stuff on my to-do list, but just when I get to that place mentally where I can say, but I'm just going to take this evening off and just enjoy the sunset and enjoy listening to the birds and, or enjoy listening to the rain outside. When I can get to that mental space, it's very peaceful. And I'd say that's also when I'm the happiest. What's your favorite holiday? It is Christmas. Ciara Butler asked that, and she also asked, cuddles? Yes, please. And she also asked, are you into fishing? I'm not much of a fisherman. It's been a few years since I've been. Are you aware that you are the sweetest, cutest person ever? Honestly, I am not aware of that. I know some very sweet, cute people. Do you like to read? Yes. Favorite genre? I like historical fiction and nonfiction, as well as murder mysteries. Favorite author, favorite book? Oh, gosh. I mean, even though it does... Well, I like fantasy as well. Lord of the Rings, Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, Poe, Edgar Allan Poe, even though that doesn't fit any of those genres. Are there going to be any sexy videos? No, there will not be. that is a choice I have made. It's just not the direction I want my audio career to go. Do you see yourself doing any audios for more underrepresented listeners like Black women? Because as a Black woman, I always feel kind of left out when creators always describe a listener with pale, milky skin or bright blue eyes. I totally get where you're coming from. I really do. I if you haven't guessed it from my avatars, I'm white, and so I can't identify personally with your experience, but I can imagine how frustrating it would be. And as a result of that, I go out of my way in my audios to avoid any physical description that is going to alienate people. I don't want any of my listeners, you people are wonderful. You are of infinite worth. You are choosing to spend your time listening to me. And the least I can do is make audios that make you feel included. And I do go out of my way to avoid any kind of physical description that would alienate listeners. Like, I won't say your blonde hair or your blue eyes, things like that, because I don't want anyone, like you're saying, to listen to that and be like, but that's not me. This audio was not made for me. By the same token, that's why I don't have plans to make audios that are specifically for any underrepresented group, because that would also alienate other listeners of mine. And it's important to me that I be as inclusive as I can be. So my plan is to continue making things where the audio can be inclusive for any of my listeners, with the caveat, as I said before, sometimes I do use female pronouns, and audios will be more geared for women in that case. If you won a highly hypothetical and specific lottery that meant you could design your perfect living arrangement, what features would it have? I would live somewhere that was close to a good-sized city, but out a little bit further away, with a bit of land, not too much, and lots of trees. That would be my perfect place to live. And then that kid, though, asked, what number is your favorite color of the alphabet, true or false? And the answer, of course, is cranberries. I'm going to go over here now to my YouTube channel, my community page, and we're going to go through a couple of these that I had forgotten were listed on the, when I announced that I was going to be doing this AMA. Do you have any bloopers of yourself recording the audios? If so, please release them. I actually don't have bloopers. When I trip over my tongue or something, or start going off in a direction I don't want to go off into when I'm recording, I stop it, I backtrack it to just prior to the goof, and start from there. So the bloopers go away as I record. And honestly, that makes it so much easier to edit later, because then I'm not having to go through and be like, okay, hang on, which of these times I said this line, was it the right one? Because I used to do that when I first started, and I could spend 6 hours editing a 15-minute audio, and that's not even for sound effects. So, trust me, it's better this way. When's the last time a loved one cried in your arms, and do you like dogs? I don't remember the last time a loved one cried in my arms. I do not remember. Oh yeah, I do. My sister was driving and accidentally hit a possum that got out in front of her car, and was very, very upset about this, and so I comforted her. That was a while ago. And I just scrolled the rest of the questions there on the community page, and I think all the rest of them I hit. So there you go. Once again, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me that you spend your time with me, that you enjoy my audios and leave your comments, that you have subscribed to my channel. Those of you on Reddit, it just means a lot to me that you've joined my subreddit. I really appreciate it, and please let me know how I can do better for you. If you have suggestions for ways that I can improve my approach, requests or suggestions for different audios that I might create, please be sure to leave them for me. I really do take those things into consideration. They mean a lot to me. Okay. Well, I wish all of you a wonderful, well, it's nighttime for me now, so wonderful night, or day, or morning, or evening, or whatever, whenever you listen to this. Thanks again, and we'll do one of these again at a further milestone. Take care of yourselves.